Alright, I've talked about this before, guys. You guys know how I feel about Final Fantasy 16. Alright, if you don't know, here's the gist of it. I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm not playing Final Fantasy 16 because it doesn't have a black character in it or some shit like that. I'm a boycotting the game because of that. I'm not going to play Final Fantasy 16 because of what happened with Kingdom Hearts 3, with Dissidia NT, with Final Fantasy 15, and Final Fantasy 7 Remake. Oh, I'm sorry, rebranded reboot. I don't care what no one says. You're not going to defend that shit. You're going to try to defend it here, I'm going to delete your fucking goddamn comment. Because you're a fucking goddamn child that never played the fucking goddamn original and never understand and overstand what the story was about with the original. Tell me, what was the story about the original? Tell me. Because I'm not going to spoil it for you. You tell me. You tell me. You tell me. Alright? Final Fantasy 16, like, look at the way the gameplay is. Who asked for a Devil May Cry gameplay for a Final Fantasy game? If I wanted to play Devil May Cry, I'd play Devil May Cry. If I wanted to play an action RPG, I'll play Kingdom Hearts. See, this is what Square Enix has. They have different genres for their shit, but now they want everything to be the same with their genres. Now no one doesn't give a shit about their games. Because they don't have creativity, there's no substance. That's why when I hear the remaking Final Fantasy 9, I'm like, no, you're not. You're not remaking Final Fantasy 9. What, you're going to put the gameplay where you put in Final Fantasy 7 Remake? And not what you do and not put the traditional gameplay style of what Final Fantasy 9 was? Some idiot is going to be like, well, they did remaster the original, so play that one. Oh, thank you. I will, and I won't play none of their bullshit. How's that? How's that? They're all good games that are coming out, but Square Enix knows that their modern games doesn't sell, so they're fucking repackaging their old games. And I'm getting them. I want to play Live and Live. I played the demo, and that demo's fucking amazing. I'm waiting for Dragon Quest 3 remaster. That looks dope too. I am worried with Dragon Quest 12, because if Dragon Quest 12 becomes action RPG, you're just catering to the fucking people that can't strategize, man. Send these motherfuckers that don't know how to strategize to war. See how they are. Seriously, I bet you anything they will crack on pressure. Just saying, man. Just saying. Right? And it's not like you can't have an action RPG and strategize. For crying out loud, they put it in Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix has always trying to do that whole flashy bullshit, but they already made a game like that. It's called Kingdom Hearts 2. And you're still trying to make that goal. You already had that goal. You already did that goal. But somehow inside your fucking stupid mind, you're thinking that you never reached that goal. Yeah, you have. And it's called Kingdom Hearts 2. So move the fuck on. Move the fuck on. But you don't want to. Because you want to cater to people that like action RPGs and not turn-based RPGs. That's why Shin Megami and Persona are kicking your fucking ass and stealing your fucking fan base. And I don't care. I'm playing Shin Megami. I'm playing the other Dragon Quest games and Dragon Quest 12 because they know what they are. You don't know what you are. Final Fantasy, Square. You don't know what you are. You don't know what you are. You know what I have feel for Dragon Quest? When the original people are gone, like dead. That's how I know Dragon Quest will be dead. Why? Because these motherfuckers are not going to look at the past Dragon Quest games and be like, let's bring it to a modern setting. Like anyone gives a fuck about that. Don't you just love hearing those words? Let's bring it to a modern setting. No one doesn't give a fuck about your modern setting, piece of crap shit. What, the game comes out tomorrow? Who cares? Final Fantasy 16 comes out tomorrow. Who cares? Who cares? Waste your money on something else. For crying out loud, I just saw the fucking trailer, not that long ago, of Super Mario RPG. And how come Nintendo can give us a remaster same way as the original, but Square Enix can't do that with Final Fantasy VII Remake, you see? You see? All they had to do is literally change a few things from the original, and still do not frame by frame, but something different. Like, for example, put more backstory for Aerith. You know, when you're hanging out with her, then you eventually play as her or something for a while. Or how about this? Extend more with Sephiroth if you wanted to. Or probably not. Because not having a backstory with him kept him a secret, kept him a myth. So when you finally saw him, you were like, holy shit. They fucked that up in Final Fantasy VII Remake. You saw him right there. Where's the hype? Who cares? At that point, I shouldn't even fucking play the game. And if you want to defend Final Fantasy VII Remake, that's how I know you never played the fucking goddamn original, because you look at the graphics and you think it's depressing as shit. That's your fault, not mine. You want to look at graphics like that and be like, oh, I'm not going to play it because it has graphics like that. Then you would never play an Atari game. You would never play a Nintendo 64 game. Don't say that you do, you fucking hypocrite. If you do, you're a hypocrite. You can't say that, oh, I won't play the original Final Fantasy VII because of those graphics, and yet you go around playing Super Nintendo games and Atari games. You know how stupid you look? You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite that wants to cater to people that don't give a shit about how the original was. I get it. Every Final Fantasy is different. Okay, so why you don't grab the gameplay for Final Fantasy X and adapt from that? People have been asking for you for that forever. For crying out loud, there's a new Mario game. Was it Super Mario Brothers Wonder? People have been asking for Daisy to be a playable character, and they finally did it. I'm getting that game since day one because they put Daisy. And you could play as Yoshi. You got my money right there, Nintendo. That's what I'm talking about. Something that Square Enix is not fucking goddamn doing. Don't tell me that I'm fucking goddamn wrong when these companies are making remasters that are literally faithful to the original, yet Square Enix does it and it sucks. And it's not faithful to the original. If you think it's faithful to the original, then you don't understand and understand what Final Fantasy VII actually was. You don't understand the story. You literally think that the original story of Final Fantasy VII is about destiny. No, it's fucking not. No, it isn't. Who told you that? Oh, because you play the original. You play the remake. You never play the original. Go sit in the corner and die out in there, because no one's not gonna pay attention to you. I'm not paying attention to you. I don't want you to fucking take the air I breathe. To be quite honest with you, I just don't care for you at that point. I don't, and I don't take you seriously. I don't take you seriously at all. Listen. When we have other RPGs, turn-based RPGs, any type of RPG, any type of turn-based RPG, when Shin Megami can do it, and Persona can do it, and Square Enix doesn't look at that and adapt from it, they look at fucking Devil May Cry and they're like, let's do that. They're perverts. They're like pedophiles to this shit. I'm dead serious. I don't give a fuck if you get angry with me. I don't give a fuck. I'm not here to make you happy. I'm here to make you fucking goddamn think. And if you don't like that, we're too fucking bad. If you don't like to think, then leave this channel. Leave this channel. Leave this channel. This channel's for thinking people only. Not for dumbass people that want to think. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, get out of here. Get out of here. Alright? Now, if you want to play Final Fantasy 16, go ahead. But don't expect me, a hardcore fan, to play that shit. I've been a fan since Final Fantasy, since the Game Boy Advance version of Final Fantasy 1 and 2. And I adored it. Especially when the part when your friends that you recruit in Final Fantasy 2 die. Yo, that's heartwarming. You might look at it now and you'll be like, it's nothing. But as a kid, you thought it was real. You liked those characters. And you felt that emotion. Don't tell me that you didn't. You were a kid. You felt all types of emotions. And when you played a video game and you saw someone died on screen, you cried. Or you felt something. Or you got choked up. And I understand and understand that once you get older and you look at that, you'll be like, it's not the same anymore. Yeah, of course, because you grew up and you can see kind of the corniness in it. But that's fine. That doesn't blind the fact that you had a great experience when you were a child looking at that stuff. And you look at it as a adult and you're like, yeah, okay, but I still appreciate that. You understand how it is now, but at least you appreciate it because you know what it was doing. It's Final Fantasy 2. You're killing characters off in Final Fantasy 2? Holy shit. That's pretty ballsy. Think about that. Final Fantasy 2 killing characters off. That was the first game that actually was killing people off before Final Fantasy 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10. Okay? It's true. Okay, guys. So, again, if you know the whole story, then you know the whole story. Obviously, hey, to me, it was the last straw. That's why I'm not buying this game. That's how I am. Hey, if it's a masterpiece, at least for you, that's fine. But I'll probably never play this game. I'm just done how Square Enix has treated their fan base. That's just me, man. That's just me. Because when people have asked for something, right, and then Nintendo keeps constantly ignoring them, eventually you're just not going to give a fuck and then move the fuck on. And that's what we've done. We moved on. We moved on. And literally, if Square Enix, look, I think now if Square Enix even tries to even win the fan base back, no one's not going to come because it's the camera has the camera's back has already been fucked, basically. You know, and I'm not saying that hey, if they do it, people will be excited or people will want to check it out. At that point, I probably wanted to check it out too. But as of right now, I just don't care. Hey, if you care to buy it, go ahead. If you look at me, I'll say I will not recommend it for crying out loud. I didn't buy the new Crisis Core game, the remaster, and I love Crisis Core. It's just that when they changed Zack's voice, I'm just like, what the hell? I think they changed every voice actor. I could be wrong, but once they changed Zack's voice, I'm like, why are you going to make him sound like a fucking 12-year-old kid? He's not 12. He's literally in his 20s or yeah, in his early 20s. I'd say like what, 21 or even 23. You know, so when people when people when Square does this stuff, it just tells people that they don't give a fuck and they just keep spitting in their face, to be honest. And from the gameplay I've seen with Crisis Core, it's like they're trying to make it what you see in Final Fantasy 16. And the gameplay from the original was just fine. And some people hate that type of gameplay style in the original Crisis Core, which makes no sense in my opinion. And if you are going to change it, just put it like Kingdom Hearts. It technically was a Kingdom Hearts battle style. Just change it. I wouldn't care. I probably would have bought the game just because of that shit. Probably. I said probably. Because some of the trailers, I just didn't care for it. I would have played Forspoken, to be quite honest with you. And that one bombed. To me, it looked interesting. It's just, I didn't buy it because it's on PS3, PS4. If it is, well, there it is. Because there's so many games I'm playing right now and want to buy that it's just, that's another video I want to talk about. There's such a saturation of gamings that then they show you some games that you want, then they put it for like November and October, and it's just like, then I don't care. I don't care. That's why I didn't talk about the Nintendo Direct, because all the shit that they're talking about that's coming out in the fall, I'm like, I don't give a shit. Don't show this to me. Literally, start talking about this around fucking September, guys. Don't tell me over the summer when I want to play this shit now, and you're like, oh, wait until the fall, and I'm like, no, I'm not waiting at all. Fuck off. Fuck off. I'll just forget about it, and then when it comes out, I'll buy it. I'm that type of. I'm just in that state right now, because these companies want to saturate the market with a lot of games, but at the same time, when we want certain games that want to come out, they don't come out until like later on, because these companies know that we want these games, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna make you wait for it, which is fine. But when you when you're basically holding it, and people know that it's already done, even the developers know it's done, but you're holding it and you're not giving it to us, at that point, no one doesn't care for you. To be honest, I understand it takes time for a game to come out. You gotta fix the bugs, the glitches, and all that shit, the frame rates and all that. Of course, that takes time. But don't show the trailer and then be like, "Oh, it comes out this month." I mean, not this month, but oh, it comes out in the fall or next year. I don't care. Don't show me the trailer then. Remember back then when they showed you a trailer and you were like, holy shit, then they gave you a date because it was actually coming out the year that it's showing you the trailer? What happened to that? See, that's the era that I grew up. But many people here will be like, well, it's just a new time. No, it's just that you wanted to accept it. That's the problem with a lot of gamers now. They want to accept certain things that should not be around anymore. Or should not even be a thing. That's why I have a problem with modern Square Enix and a lot of modern companies. Like Rockstar and Nintendo. Nintendo's still doing good. Square Enix has some games that are coming out that I still want to play. Like Live and Live, for example, like the remaster ones I want to play. But their newer shit, I just don't care for. Except for what? Like, I know Forspoken looked interesting. I know it failed, and people hated it, and the studio fell. But in my opinion, it still looks, to me, it looks fine. I mean, from the trailer, at least when I look at the trailer, I want to play it. When I look at 16, I don't want to play it. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because Forspoken failed, and that should tell everyone how Final Fantasy 16 should be. Because that's how it is with Square Enix. Every time there's a game, people are waiting for the next game. Because usually they will learn and adapt the gameplay for the next game. That's how Square Enix used to do. They used to do that. But now they just don't care anymore. They want to do different types of gameplay styles and nothing's not sticking. Why? Because they're catering to people that don't give a shit. That's why. How much you want to bet the next Final Fantasy game is going to have a different types of gameplay style, but probably won't be turn-based, basically. And the thing is, too, the reason I mentioned turn-based is because you can adapt the turn-based style. I made videos about this before. Look at Mario Luigi Saga. The way you play that game as turn-based, that could be modern Final Fantasy right there, and I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't care. I would embrace it. But Square Enix didn't think about that, or don't want to think about it. Because they want to do this new shit that wants to cater to people that they don't care about their fan base, they don't care about their games, or they never played their originals. So why, and if you have that, this is not for you. This is for the people that never played the originals and acting like all the new ones are better than the fucking PS2, than the PS1 era, the PS2 era, and the freaking PlayStation, the NES, and Super Nintendo era. That's stupid. That's like someone playing Final Fantasy 16 and can't play Final Fantasy 1 just because of the graphics, or just because it's turn-based. But yet you play Pokemon, right? That makes no sense, man. That never makes sense to me. At that point, you're a psychopath. You have to be crazy. You have to be a psycho. You mean to tell me you don't like turn-based RPGs, but yet you're gonna play Pokemon? The hell? Oh, Pokemon is simple. Yeah, that's the problem. You want simple shit that can be on screen, so it can go like this. The thing is, I have ADHD, right? I was labeled with ADHD, basically. And all of this on screen does not make me go like, oh. No, it doesn't. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at when it comes to 16. What are you fighting? Who are you fighting? I feel like watching the final boss clip just to be like, okay, I'm done. Hey, I know some people will be like, oh, you ruined it for yourself. I did that with 15, and I still didn't ruin it for myself. Because I still got that boss fight that I wanted. You know? If you watch my old stuff on this channel. But, hey, if you're hyped for this game, I'm not gonna stop you. You know? Just understand and understand and understand that this is not what modern Final Fantasy should be, basically. Because modern Final Fantasy should pay the respects of the past and still adapting. Look at Dragon Quest. They did the same thing. Look at Shin Megami. When that adapted, it got more of a fan base. It got more people to tune in. Same thing with Persona. So there's no excuse. Stop making excuses for companies that can literally adapt their gameplay style and refuse not to. Stop catering to those type of people, and stop looking at these companies and being like, "Oh yeah, that's great," but yet you won't play the previous games because of A, B, and C for some reason. The graphics, the gameplay, because it's turn-based and it's not action. Square Enix has made action games before. It's just that you never played them because you think these are new. And I'm not talking about Kingdom Hearts. Square Enix has made action RPGs before Kingdom Hearts. I hope you know that. They have. And if you don't think so, then that's how I know that you don't know none of this shit. I don't get this fan base right now. That's why I said before, this new Final Fantasy fan base is not the true fan base. The true fan base has gone to Shin Megami and Persona. And we're loving it. We're loving it. I love Shin Megami 5. I haven't beaten it, but I love the soundtrack and the gameplay. The story, yes, it could be better, but I don't hate the story. I really don't. That's one of the reasons why I got the game to begin with. I never saw it on trailer or anything like that. I like grabbed the case at GameStop and I read it and I'm like, this sounds interesting. And I was interested. I was still engaged. You know? So hopefully, I'm just look. I don't want to say hope, because what does hope have to do with it? We could keep saying hope, but hope is not going to do shit. All we have to do is move on, and maybe one day Square Enix will act the fuck up. But I guarantee you, when that does happen, no one won't care for them anymore. You better start now, Square, before no one doesn't care. Because what's after Final Fantasy 16? You don't know. You see? Even I don't know. Square Enix doesn't fucking know. What's going to happen with Kingdom Hearts 4? Square Enix is already panicking of the sales not being good for Final Fantasy 16. Which I'm not really hoping on that because it happens and no one doesn't want to pre-order anymore because people are just tired of pre-ordering and literally getting nothing. Nothing. We pre-order the game. Oh, here's a 1-day patch. Fuck you. 1-day patch what? You mean the game's not finished? Maybe I shouldn't even pre-order it. Or maybe the game should never been released to begin with. This is the times we're in, man. And yes, I said that there's going to be a renaissance of everything. But right now, we need to go through the bullshit. We need to go through hell to get to the great stuff. And it's going to be around the corner soon. It's just that companies like Square Enix and Rockstar, they're not, trust me, new companies are going to come, give us what we want, and then these companies are going to suffer, and then in the last minute, they will change. But it might be too late by then. I could be wrong. Because Final Fantasy and GTA does still have a weight to it, but they're killing it. And they don't seem to fucking care. So why should you and me care? If Final Fantasy 16 is the final Final Fantasy, it's gonna break me. But at the same time, if it has to be done, it has to be done. For Square Enix to learn that their fucking creation that they made is now shit. And what they're gonna do? Rely on Kingdom Hearts? And then do the same bullshit? They already did that with Kingdom Hearts 3. And I don't want to get Kingdom Hearts 4. Yes, I understand that was just one game. But it hyped us up for 13 plus 14 years, and we still didn't get shit for it. And then Square wants to do PR, being like, no, here's the DLC and all that shit. Just like Final Fantasy 15. And I'm just like, that's how I know this game was unfinished, and it didn't deserve my time of day. I guarantee you, if you had Dream Drop Distance, the 0.2, then what is it? Kingdom Hearts 3, and then that freaking side game with Kyrie, and that's it. I guarantee you, I would have looked at the whole. If that was all Kingdom Hearts 3, I would have looked at it and been like, it could have been so much better, but at least there's some highlights that I like. I would have said that, and maybe I would have gone back to it. But I haven't got back to Kingdom Hearts 3 ever since I beat it. The first day it came out, I beat that game in 2 or 4 days. Like it was nothing. And look, I don't mind beating games for 3 or 2 days. And that doesn't say that the game is bad or anything like that. It's just that the quality, that's what hurts it. Now, I'm not saying it should not be long or anything like that. It's just that it's up to the player if they want to do side shit, you know? But stuff like that, I'm just like, we should get more if this is the third entry. Just saying. This game should have been 150 hours plus. But it wasn't. So I'll see you guys later. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and tell me what you guys think. Alright? Are you gonna get Final Fantasy 16? Do you think it's gonna fail? Do you think it's just not worth it anymore with Square Enix or even these type of gaming companies? Tell me what you guys think. You know. So I'll see you guys. Be safe, and yeah, let me know. Seriously. And share this video and everything like that. Seriously. Because I know a lot of people around here are just going to be like, oh, you're just mad because of certain this and that. And I'm just like, look at the state of Final Fantasy. It doesn't matter if I want turn-based or not. Look at the state that it's in. The reason I say bring back turn-based is because maybe in the fans' eyes, people will look at that and be like, okay, that's a good story. You already had the medievalness in 16. When I heard that, I'm like, okay, you're going to the right direction. But when I see the trailer, I just don't care for it. You have kaiju fights with summons. I should care. But in the back of my head, I'm like, why are you making a whole story about summons? You've done it before, and you've done it great. But why are you doing it this way? Summons are about the lore of Final Fantasy, which I like, but they're not really part of the story. They're not to say they're not tied into the story. They're all, but they're not the focus. You are the focus. Why are they bringing focus on more of the summons for Final Fantasy? Because Square Enix knows that they are mascots to the series and they will put butts in seats. They know this. When I saw Shiva and Titan in the first trailer and all that stuff, I was like, holy shit, that would put my butt in the seat. They know. They know. And then when I see through the bullshit, I'm just like, okay, forget it. I already know. I can already see it.